Okay, so we're starting this again. Uh, Hello to any of the VOD watchers out there. I actually just, just in case anyone was watching the VOD, I accidentally had my my mic muted the entire time, so that's always a good way to start things off. I was just explaining that this morning I made a few changes to the deck list that we were playing yesterday. Um, Pretty big changes that I think should help out the deck quite a bit. Um, so one of the main texts that I've found has been working really well this morning and has basically increased the playability by like I don't know, like 25 to 30% in the deck is kind of focusing a little bit more on these XP shares. So I've got two of them in the deck now. The main reason for the XP shares is kind of a core component for the mid game is that when our Weirdeer charges in to score a big one hit knockout, he's usually pretty susceptible to a follow up attack and usually ends up getting knocked out. But if we are able to get these XP shares into play, we're able to keep one or two energy kind of in play and floating and active, which can set us up for a second Weirder later on to score another follow up big hit. And I've found that adding these in has really been kind of fundamental to the deck, and I'm kind of surprised that I didn't have them in earlier. I'm even considering maybe adding a 30 XP share in, but I don't want to go like too overboard with them. They are very, very good, but I also don't want to like end up flooding out my hand with them too much. But generally, when you draw into one of these, it's always there's almost never a point in the game where it's bad to draw into one of these, and it feels like a really good, solid card that complements the deck and what it's trying to accomplish really, really well. Um, it almost feels like a whole new deck with having these included. Another thing that I've done is add an extra Arvin, so we've got two Arvins in the deck now. Um, Arvin, I think, is a card that was underappreciated by me for a long time. I don't, yeah, in 1.7, I wasn't even running Arvin, but um, he's a really good card that you can basically tutor for either the rare candy if you need it, or you can go for an Ultra Ball to pretty much find any Pokemon in your deck, which is great. But then also, since we've now added in these XP share equipments, we also get the added benefit of being able to fetch those out of our deck as well. So it really helps kind of solidify everything. It's always great when you can have a supporter card that you can turn into two cards that are kind of fundamental in your deck. It's a really good value pick. So I think he's a great one to have in the deck. Um, Other than that, I don't think too much has changed. I did take out the Squawkabilly. Squawkabilly is I know like yesterday we had a few bad hands, a few bad openers, and Squawkabilly is a card in the early game on turn one that can kind of help you fix your hand a little bit. The problem is the card itself takes up one slot in your deck list that could potentially draw into something else. And like we're running a lot of Ionos and Professor's researches, so there's already that instance. But um, and like we're running a lot of tutor cards as well that lets us like search our deck for whatever we need. In addition to the fact that our main components, the ArceusVSTAR and the Pidgeot, are tutor engines themselves. So I don't know. Actually, that's not the point I even wanted to make for Squawkabilly. I think I got confused with another card. But the point for Squawkabilly is I don't really like having him on the bench after turn one. He's kind of a huge liability. He's 160 HP, gives two prizes, so if he gets bosses orders out, he can like lose you the game pretty much. Um, so it's one that I ended up cutting for just to have an extra slot open. Um, yeah, and so the only other thing that I cut was the Raihan here. Um, I was just finding that there were some situations where uh there were like I'd get knocked out or whatever, and then there would be no energy in the discard pile, so you couldn't really activate the card, and it just ended up being a brick. So I ended up deciding to cut this one as well. Uh, Still on the fence though. I mean, it's a really good card that lets you ramp by one energy, so I guess it's something we can consider adding back in. But it's just another small tweak. Other than that, things are mostly the same. I think it's been running really well. It feels really cohesive with the two XP shares. So we'll try it out with that list. But yeah, so I'm gonna just be right back, and then all we're really gonna be doing today is just running the deck. I'm probably not gonna be commentating it uh, too much, so I might do some commentary in between matches, but other than that, probably just gonna be silent so I can like focus on playing. Yeah, hope it's enjoyable. Gonna run some games with the list, and yeah, hopefully we're able to showcase some matches that shows what this deck can do because it's a really fun one, and when it's going well, it's one I'm pretty proud of because it's we've been through quite a few iterations here. It's been quite a journey to get this one online from ground zero. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now and just queue up, and we'll see how it goes. I guess I'll just say here I didn't play the artisan this turn because I'm pretty sure this is Lost Box. Yeah, it's Lost Box, and I'm kind of worried about Path of the Peak coming out, so I kind of want to hold this in case that gets played. Because if Path of the Peak comes out, it shuts down the entire deck. So, kind of want to just keep this in hand. Hey, what's up, Skittles? How are you doing? Damn, it's cold. Yeah, it's fall. It's we're on our way to winter. Getting there. I'm doing some. I'm kind of laying off the commentary for the most part and just trying to focus on playing. Because I find if I'm talking too much, my play is actually pretty terrible. But glad to see you. Hope you're doing good. How's the Warframe going? Playing a match against Lost Box here, which hopefully I feel like they might get another path to the peak, and we'll be in kind of a rough spot if they do. I guess we'll see how it goes, though. Actually, I'm pretty sure what I just did is a pretty big misplay. I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone with the. I was gonna go with the Pidgeot, but somehow I was like worried that it was gonna get knocked out. I'm fine with the Charmander getting knocked out, though. I think that's okay, assuming the Artisan stays in play. New update came out, so I gotta look. I have it on D2 at the moment. What was D2 again? I forget. It's not Diablo 2. I remember that. I got confused with that one other time. Okay. We draw an energy so we can retreat to make up for the mistake I made, I guess. Oh, that's really bad. That's a really big mistake. I should have put the Pidgeot out. It really sucks. I should probably play this, I guess. I'll do that. That's fine. We'll do research. I guess this actually kind of works out because we drew into the Infernal Charizard, so that luckily I think it works for us. Still not super optimal, but it's okay. Decent enough. I'm gonna try and set up the Go Charizard next. I'm gonna put one on Pidgeot. So we can tutor for something now. I kind of want to get the Go Charizard, but I feel like we're at risk of Path of the Peak coming out next turn. We do have research in hand though, so I think that's okay. I think we can afford to search for PokemonGO Charizard this turn. Alright. We can Artisan for another Charmander just as a backup as well. That's fine. There we go. Oh, Destiny 2, right. Gotcha. Alright. I'm gonna focus in now again so I don't make a misplay, because it's super easy to misplay with this deck. If you make one mistake, you can just throw the game. So again, I'm kind of being conservative here, a little bit. I don't want to put the Pidgeot out because I'm a little bit worried about Giratina VMAX, which can, or V-Star rather, which can instantly knock out one of our Pokemon. Although they haven't actually hit their threshold yet for Lost Zone. They're actually still only at 7. I didn't realize. I should actually, if I can, next turn, I should try to take advantage of that. I don't know if I can do it though. I need to get Rare Candy with Arvin. Or I can tutor for it. I'm gonna have to think about the move. Okay, yeah, that was kind of... Did they hit threshold? No, they didn't hit threshold. 280. Oh, okay, he can one-shot with 280. I didn't realize he had it. That's really bad for us. But it's fine. I was kind of expecting Arceus to get knocked out. I'm going to just lead with Pidgeot because it has free retreat cost. So that's part of the tech right there, is basically getting the Wyrdeer ramped up with the Go Charizard for a huge one-turn knockout. And so the new tech that we've got online now is we've got these 2 XP shares in play, so if a counterattack comes in and Wyrdeer gets knocked out, we get to save 2 energy. That's kind of the gist of it. And so what we're going to be looking for next if this Wyrdeer gets knocked out is another Wyrdeer to ramp up with another 3 energy to attack for 240 damage. So we should be able to score another knockout next turn. And basically all we're doing now is trying to out-tempo our opponent a little bit, because I don't think they're able to ramp up enough damage to get 2 knockouts in a row with their deck. That's the idea anyways, but I guess we'll see if it actually works out. Also, it's nice that we have an artisan in hand just in case they do have a Path of the Peak floating around. So we can counteract that and still tutor our deck for something. We can prof research next turn and like hope we draw into a Wyrdeer, but we can also potentially just tutor for the Wyrdeer, the second one, because I'm kind of anticipating a knockout. If they don't knock out Wyrdeer this turn, then it's already GG basically, because we can just tutor for a boss's orders and shut down their Giratina. So there's no worries there. I think we've got this in the bag. They're also like pretty low on cards in their deck. I'm kind of surprised actually. One of their like only win conditions right now is like, I don't know, they get Lost Mine online, they can knock out Charmander. They can switch out and do Star Requiem to get a knockout on the Wyrdeer. That's fine, I think. Maybe. I think I would actually have a hard time. Oh, he didn't knock him out? That's game then. That's GG. We draw into the second Wyrdeer, we top decked it. So we have it ready if we need to. So all we need to do now really is boss's orders actually, and then we're totally fine. Let's put this on the yacht in case we need to clear a stadium. I don't actually even want to proc research. We're just gonna do boss's orders, tutor for boss's orders. Here we go. I don't think we really need to do anything else, really. Swing in for 400. And that should be game. I don't think there's any way they can come back from that. But yeah, so that's like the basic gist of the deck. And our backup there was, again, these 2 EXP shares are really, really nice. I've almost been considering running 3 EXP shares in the deck just because of how critical of a card it actually ended up being. Just because in this scenario, it's like you get to keep 2 extra energy, and if you did happen to draw into 3 EXP shares in a game, being able to keep 3 energy off the Wyrdeer would be even better. So I'm like actually kind of heavily considering adding in a 3rd one, just because it seems to be a really key component of the deck. And I'm... Oh, did he just deck himself? He did. Okay. He's actually still in this to try and win, apparently. Which is kind of surprising. I don't have a Pal Pad in the deck, so I can't reuse the boss's orders. He can knock out Charmander with Lost Mine. Which is fine. You can do that. I don't see how that... I guess they just want to play out the game, which is cool. They can get the KO on the Charmander and then drop 6 on another Pokemon. Okay, 30 to the Wyrdeer. Or 50. How much is it? Oh yeah, it's 12. Holy crap. Dude, I underestimate how much damage this thing actually does. But yeah, that's gonna be GG's. Shield Bash for the win. Well played though by the other guy. This deck is always really scary to play against. The early Path to the Peak was very scary. We're lucky that we drew into Artisan off of their initial Iono, because again, as I've been saying, Path of the Peak 100% shuts this entire deck down. Like, the deck is not allowed to play the game if Path of the Peak is in play. So we really do have to play around it quite a lot. But yeah, so we pick up a win there. That's nice. Nice to actually be able to have one win. I feel like yesterday I was just like floundering. I was also, to be honest, I was really tired yesterday. I might have been misplaying the deck really badly as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to play around with the 3rd XP share. I don't know what I would cut. I might maybe cut an Arven. Maybe. I don't really want to cut any energy out of the deck. I know 13 is kind of high, but again, our deck very much relies on being able to fetch energy out of our deck, both from Infernal Rain and from Trinity Nova. So it's kind of nice to have a lot of energy to work with. I actually already cut an energy down from 14 to 13, which I wasn't happy about doing. So I really don't want to cut any more energy out of the deck. I don't know. There's like different options we could do. We could cut one Iono, possibly, to drop another XP Shear in. Again, I'm not a fan of that because I think having a lot of hand resets is always a good thing. I wouldn't want to get rid of the Nest Ball. It's kind of a nice option for Arven to be able to get this in the early game so that we can fetch our basic ArceusV. It would be really hard to make a cut for the third XP Shear, I feel. It might consider Klara. I don't know. Every time I think about a game, like a mid to late game where I don't have Klara, though, there are some rare situations in the early game where you discard your hand from Prof Research and you dump certain Pokemon out of it. And when you do that, sometimes if you don't have a Klara, you like basically lock yourself out of certain play lines because you don't have the Pokemon available. So I think one Klara is usually pretty good to have in the deck. And you get the upside of getting 2 extra energy into your hand as well, just to make sure you can keep playing energy for turn. And I don't really want to cut an Artisan because again, Path at the Peak turns off the entire deck. So making sure you have a pretty decent chance of drawing into these, as well as having the ability to try and tutor into it from Pidgeot, is pretty important as well. I might be able to go down to 1 Arven to get an extra XP Shear. That might be a thing I consider doing. I'll have to run a few more tests to see how much I like Arven in the deck. He came in pretty clutch in that last game. I almost misplayed that scenario. It can be easy to get overwhelmed with choices because like you have your quick search ability, which lets you search your deck for any card you want. But then you also have to keep in mind that Arven can let you search for certain parts as well into the Ultra Ball. But you also have to keep in mind that when you use Arven, you're using your supporter slot for the turn. So you have to consider whether or not using that supporter slot for the turn is worth it, or whether you should go and get it via the quick search, which would free you up to do things like other supporter actions. But yeah, anyways, I'm just blabbing at this point. I'm kind of happy the deck was able to perform there, so let's see if we can do something else again here. Hopefully we avoid bricked hands and disappointment. Get some good games going. And as usual, I never like going first in this deck. I like very often if we draw Pidgey, if we can call for family on turn 1, it's very, very powerful. Of course we get a mulligan, so that kind of sucks. Hey, he's got the basic card backs as well. That's nice. I like this like classic Pokemon card backs. Feels like playing the old Game Boy game. Yeah, it sucks that we have the mulligan. But yeah, going second is usually good because Call for Families is such a powerful. Yeah, there we go. We got our Pidgey at least. The rest of our hand is looking extremely rough, like very, very bad. That's an extremely unlucky draw. Holy crap! What is this? We can at least search for God, put him on the bench, and 1 Charmander, but we're basically just top decking right from the start of the game here. So this is very unlucky. I guess we'll see how this plays out. Also, Turtwig. What is this deck? I've seen this back when I first started playing a few times, but I don't even know what this deck is. I think it's one of the starter decks. But everyone that I've been playing against, I don't know if there's MMR in this game or how exactly it works, but I've been playing against everyone that has like meta decks and they're really good at the game, so I don't know, I guess we'll see what this guy has to offer with this deck. I'm actually not sure what we're playing against here. But yeah, this hand really sucks. I'm getting a backup Pidgey here in case this one gets knocked out. I found that the best playline in this deck is to get your Pidgeot online as soon as you possibly can. What is this? Once per turn, you may search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, put it in your hand. Okay. Tutoring for a grass Pokemon. I didn't see what he got. That was superior. Deal 30 damage from each. Okay, that doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. Oh, it's this guy. What does this guy do again? I don't think this is even really in the meta that much. Prevent all effects of attacks. Colony Rush. That does 40 more for each of your bench Pokemon that has like 80 plus. Okay. Why did you just bring out Arceus? Okay, so we drew into an EXP share that doesn't help us. Just put one on Arceus. We have no plays here, really. We can fetch a second Charmander from Artisan. But that's about it. I'm not going to play the XP. I guess I should play the XP share, though. I'll put the XP share on... Actually, in this case, no. I don't think they're running Iono in their deck. I'm going to just keep it in hand for now. Oh, there's no options. Okay, cool. So we just shuffle our deck for no reason. And we pass the turn. This is really slow. This is not common. I think against most other decks we would have already lost the game at this point for how bad this opening was. What does this do? Superior V-Star. That is 60 for each energy attached to this Pokemon. Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. That seems like a really weak V-Star power, to be honest. That seems like incredibly weak. You can only use that once per game. It's so weird. I don't think this is a very meta deck, but we might just lose to it anyways because our hand was so bad when we started. Okay, well he passes the turn. Boss's orders normally would be decent. Unfortunately, we're in a top deck situation where we're totally bricked. When I'm streaming, of course. It's always got to be these kinds of games when I'm streaming. Are we at risk of dying if he can't even retreat his Pokemon? So we're not even really at risk of getting knocked out, I don't think, unless he's got like an escape rope or something. So I'm just gonna ramp here. Put some energy onto the field. If we can find a Wyrdeer, hopefully this energy will come in handy and we can do some damage. Okay, there's the escape rope. So we're gonna sacrifice a Pidgey. And next turn, what am I putting up to bat? I think I gotta put God up to bat. Yeah, I think we just need to bring it out. Although it's that it can get knocked out next turn with the V-Star power. But like we gotta do something. I can power edge for 130 next turn. But I don't think I've ever literally used this basic attack on Arceus before. I've never used it. But I guess it's our best option right now. And it's so bad. I will be honest, I forgot that CharizardEx is a dark type. But I think that's okay. I think we're probably out of kill range. Guy's running a Pidgeot, so we're in pretty bad shape right now, to be honest. We're just still top decking. The only thing we have going for us here is oh, okay, he did have... How the hell did that even work? 340. I'm not sure how this Pokemon even works. What attack was that? Was that Regal Binding? Oh, this thing has weakness to grass. I didn't even know that. You learn something new every day, I guess. Oh, we get to keep at least one energy. I honestly did not know. It's like the number of times I play against grass decks is like very, very low. You like never see it really. I guess we just attack here. Question mark. I've never been in a situation where I've been top decking for this long before. This is so weird. You can do 160 to like, I think you can do 200 with that one guy he's got on his bench there. Because it's gonna be 80 plus. Wait, each of your benched Pokemon that has a grass energy. So you can do 120, possibly 160, I guess. We finally drew an Iono, so we can finally reset our hand. Like, friggin', how many turns into the game are we? It's very, very unlucky that it's taken this long to find anything that lets us fix our hand. It's actually absurd. With any luck, we'll be able to get our Pidgeot online and get Arceus Evolution, get our V-Star, and actually turn the deck online. I'm not sure if there's a better play. The fact that I didn't know that this was weak to grass was kind of probably a mistake. I probably would have kept... Or I don't know if I had an opportunity to keep Arceus in play, I'm not sure. I might have like opted to retreat or something. Kind of unfortunate lack of game knowledge. Why is this guy evolving? I don't... This deck that they're playing feels really slow and weak and not that great, to be honest. Okay, what are we drawing to? Okay, so... Do we want to put the Pidgey on the bench? I don't think I really do. I think it's just an easy target for them to take out. We could boss's orders, do 130 to something, but there's not really any need to do that. So I think we're just Ionoing here. See if we can come online, maybe. Wow, we draw more bricks. Are you kidding? I've never... That's something else, man. What can we do here? There's like literally no play. And the other thing is Artisan, somehow there's no basic Pokemon even. We can... I don't friggin' know. What can we even do here? Energy Recycler? This is so unlucky. Arceus is getting knocked out next turn either way. I guess we're just power edging. This is over. Maybe I could have retreated Arceus and then tried to evolve next turn. I don't even know, dude. This is like the worst hand I've... Even out of all those games that I played yesterday, this is like... I can't believe we just like had such bad draws for the whole game. It's actually completely unreasonable. Like this is such an easy deck to beat. There's no way we should have lost here. I guess we're technically not out yet, but they only need one more prize. It's like we're not gonna win this one, I don't think. It'd have to be some sort of a weird like miracle draw. Get back-to-back knockouts. We can't even evolve like Arceus next turn now. So what do we need? Like a candy and a Pidgeot. Okay, that doesn't do anything for us. Let me just research what do we got here. So we can find a Pidgeot, but we don't have a candy, so the game is just over. Alright, fair enough. We can call for family, I guess. This does absolutely nothing. Call it. Oh well. Wait a second. No, we can call in Wyrdeer. Actually, no, I forgot. The turn ends. I could, if I wanted to keep going, we actually could have put the Wyrdeer in and draw two. Actually, I should have probably done that. To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about it. I forgot that wasn't available play. We could have retreated for one, put 3 energy on Wyrdeer, attack for 120. Actually, wait a second. 120 wouldn't even be enough to knock him out. Although energy for turn, I'm not sure if I played an energy for turn. Maybe we could have knocked him out. It's whatever. They've only got 1 prize left. They probably could just boss's orders, like tutor for boss's orders, and then win the game that way. That was just a really, really unlucky game. We just like absolutely bricked on the opening hand and just top decked into absolutely nothing. Smart play. This is such a stupid saying. Yes, I could have played my 2 evolution cards and my 3 energy cards better. This so triggered. Alright, let's just see if we can actually get a real match here. Well, I hate to say it, but we're in another top deck situation. I swear this deck doesn't get into this situation this often, unless I'm streaming. Whenever I'm streaming, I just get horrible hands every single game. Every single game I was playing this morning was great. It was fantastic. I was having a lot of fun, and as soon as I hit the stream button, I start like every hand just bricks every single time. It's crazy. This isn't as bricked as the last one though, I don't think. But we are against a Giratina V Lost Box, so it's a tough matchup as usual. If they just play Path of the Peak, the game is over already. I'll just concede on the spot pretty much. This is very exciting. Not sure what my opponent is doing. I guess they're like thinking of what to do. But his ambition. Is that standard for all this box? That'd be like a Clara's experiment or something. Ooh, prof research, nice. Yeah. Go ahead, attach. I think we could start getting Arceus ready to attack, maybe. Or something. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. Okay, let's dump this garbage. We have Artisan to counter Peak. We can put Pidgey on the bench. Oh man, I kind of want to get a Charmander, but I guess we can't really do that right now. This hand is very good. We have Iono for next turn though, at least. I guess we can Charmander with Nest Ball. Just in case we draw into a Charizard. And in case we get Iono next turn, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the second Wyrdeer on the bench as well. And we'll go ahead and pass the turn. We'll hold on to Artisan in case Path of the Peak comes out. Hopefully our Iono here should let us come online. We have so many options available at this point. There's got to be something that we can draw into to get us into the year. We still haven't drawn anything. This is actually insane. I don't know where we want to drop the, to be sure. Probably on here, I guess. This Wyrdeer one, I think. Probably a mistake. We have another Iono. How have we drawn half our deck and we don't have anything? 4 Ultra Balls in the deck. Got Jacques. Got all kinds of stuff. And he's already got his friggin' 13 V-Star online. Or does he? Wait. Finally drawn Ultra Ball. Okay. Let's evolve, I guess. We're out of candies. We basically lose the game. Didn't realize we were out of candies. Yeah, we pretty much lose. That's the game. We just concede, I think. But we like don't have enough energy in play even to make anything happen. So that's just unfortunate. I guess we can play it out. I guess actually I could have gone the Charmeleon route. It's just we can't really like do anything now. I'm gonna actually concede this. Yeah, that one we got a rough hand, and also I guess I should have kept track of the candies. I guess we could have tutored for like a Charmeleon maybe, but it would have been too slow, I think. So another loss. Hopefully we can get like an actual hand that actually has decent cycling in it, because there's plenty of options for that in the deck. Hey, look, an opening hand that actually has an Iono in it. Go figure. It's almost like that's pretty much the standard. Like, it's usually pretty common to have at least an Iono or a Prof Oak. You know, something decent. Just to get you going. We're gonna have to look for Arceus, though. What is this deck? Is this, I don't even know what the thing's name is. The, is it like, what, Baskellion or something? I don't know the newer Pokemon's names. So we're top decking again. Okay. Well, at the very least, if Charmander gets knocked out, well, I mean, actually, if he ramps the Greninja, we just lose. Straight up. Because you can just use Moonlight Shuriken. I don't know if he has a way to ramp one energy, but maybe he does. But we can at least call for Shamily next turn, so we can get God on the bench. But other than that, we're just top decking. We have a Charmeleon, so I don't know. That doesn't really help us in this situation, though. For a Ninja, I don't think I'm familiar with this deck. Played it before. Kind of like that horsey art. The little water spout. Yeah, can we top deck some magic? Plus his orders. Doesn't do anything for us at all. I guess we are just retreating and calling for family. With the EXP share on the Pidgey. Is really bad for us. I guess we could just play the Charmeleon. That's probably fine. With that. I guess we could... Like, we may as well boss his orders. Might as well get a second Pidgey in case this one gets knocked out as well. So we can try and top deck into a candy and make something work. I guess let's bring Greninja back out. We can really do. And we'll call for family and see if we can just open up our options for what we can draw into to make something happen. Okay, I haven't seen this deck before. It doesn't look too threatening, to be honest. But I have to switch out. Okay, here you go. Here's a Pidgey for you. This little bird. You can knock out nothing, apparently. Stealthy Shuriken does 40 damage. That seems to be a really useless attack. Seems like a really weak X card. Okay, what do we want to put out here? Guess we'll put Arceus out. Hope we draw something. That's a candy. Okay, our tutor's online. We can go find God, actually. That's good. So we find God, and then off of God we find Charizard. Let me just think about the play here. It's unfortunate that we drew so much energy here. We couldn't actually attach very much from Trinity Nova, but it is what it is. I think we're in an okay spot now. We kind of recovered. Should be able to get their PokemonGO Charizard next turn, hopefully. And just play it out from there. Oh yeah, we're in really good shape now, I think. Ooh, energy recycler too. Very nice. Got our EXP shares online to catch any falling energy. And get our Go Charizard. Just thinking here. I think we'll just take the knockout and retreat Arceus back. It's probably the best play. Need 4 energy to do that. We can tutor one more card. As well. What do we want to fetch? I think it's a good idea to just energy recycle right now in case we do get hand reset. Honestly. Always good to just have this in the deck. And then we can either get a boss's orders. I think a boss's orders would be good to have on hand. For next turn, and then if we need to next turn, we can tutor for Rough Oak, and they can just, of course, move it up. Cool, so we actually pulled out a win, even though our opener was a little bit slow. We kind of got to show off the deck a little bit. I'd still like to get like a really good game, like a game where we get a good opening hand, because this, I promise you, this deck can take off really fast on turn 2. Oh my god, we're playing the same person again. It's the rematch. I don't think they're going to be that happy about that, but I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes. See if we can get a real hand for once. That is... Actually, that's a really good hand. That's really good. This is more like standard, because we got our Arceus to start, and we have a million options to find God. We can get Pidgey on the bench on turn 1. We can Iono to reset the hand afterwards next turn. Yeah, this is a really good setup. Should be able to come online really fast with this. Okay, so let me just think about what we're doing here. So if we don't get hand reset next turn, I think we're in fantastic shape. If we get hand reset, well, there's a pretty good chance we'll draw into something that we can make work. There's a lot of options to fetch ArceusVSTAR. So it would just be ideal if we don't get hand reset because we've got the Pidgey in play, we can get our Pidgeot online, and then just start fetching cards out of our deck. This is kind of almost an ideal opener. Oh, okay. Gonna do what? 100 damage? They just get a boss's orders. A little bit scary. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the best we can do. Can't attack. Pass the turn. So even though we can't attack, we got Pidgeot online now. We've got Charizard in hand. We can fetch the Go Charizard as well. We can evolve a Charmeleon as well to save a rare candy. Oh, our Arceus is gonna go down. That sucks. I think. They got exactly enough. Bad. We were a little bit too slow with the energy, I guess. Because we didn't have a Charmander on the bench in the opening hand, so it didn't let us get our PokemonGO Charizard, so we're one energy behind. Otherwise we could have attacked and gotten some more energy. That's too bad. I think we might still be able to play this out though. It's still like a playable situation. It's gonna be a little bit difficult. Let's see how it goes. Alright, I think that was the best we could do that turn. I don't think Charizard can get knocked out, but if they have like a boss's orders, they could take out our Pidgeot, and then we're in a really bad spot. We don't have a Wyrdeer either. We could probably fetch one with Arven if we really want one. But we need to also get the PokemonGO Charizard online, so we need a candy. So if Pidgeot gets knocked out, we're in really bad shape. Because we need to be able to tutor. We'll have some options available to us though, I guess. I guess like getting PokemonGO Charizard out is kind of top priority. Because without that, Wyrdeer can't come online, and without Wyrdeer, we can't do big damage. How much damage is this? That's 80, 100, 120, 140. Like 200 damage coming in at least. It should be okay. That's 220 damage. That's fine. Not really a big difference. Okay. Pidgeot's safe, that's the main thing. So, see what we can do here. I just realized that we can just evolve our Charmeleon. We don't even need the candy. I'm gonna opt for the XP share actually. Oh, nice, we have a Nest Ball in the deck. That makes it even better. That's a Wyrdeer. Yeah, I think we're good there. Do I let them take the knockout or do I retreat here? I think I should retreat just to make it harder for them. How much energy do we want on Wyrdeer? I guess 1, 2, 3, 4 is probably fine. But we can just start with 1, I think. I'm just thinking how much I want to risk on it. Fine. Because Iono, I think we'll be able to draw into another energy next turn. And 300 should be enough to take out anything else. But we'll leave this extra energy on the Charizard in case we need it after. Yeah, we drew into an energy. So Wyrdeer might die here. I think we have one more in the deck while they concede off of that. But they could get a knockout. I could have played that out. I don't think they had lost that yet, but anyways. Yeah, we were able to bring it online, so that's good. I might wait a second. I don't want to like troll queue into them again if they don't want to play it again. I don't know if their deck is really the greatest, to be honest. I've never that Palkia deck doesn't really seem that strong. The Just as a Pokemon in general, it doesn't seem to have that much. Like this as a V-Star power is just not that good. During your turn, you may attach up to 3 water energy cards from your discard to your water in any way you want. Like, how is that a V-Star power? Like, there's, what is it, Basila? Basquilian, right? Bass. What is his name? This guy, Baxcalibur, yeah, this guy. This guy, from your hand, you can attach as many water energy as you want, and this is just a normal ability. This isn't even an X Pokemon. So, I don't know what's up with that V-Star power. It seems really underpowered. Definitely not a deck I would run. This is a deck I kind of want to consider playing the what is it? I forget the other Pokemon that you pair with that name is. I got a few meta decks I want to try out aside from this one, but this one is feeling pretty polished. It's getting there. I mean, I think there's maybe a few adjustments we can do to the trainer base here, but other than that, it feels like it's really coming along. It has come a long way. Alright, we got a guy with a fancy deck box and 600 rating here. Let's see how this one goes. It's Mr. Miyagi, dude. At least that's how I read that name. Oh yeah, he just used J's instead of I's. That's kind of creative, actually. Oh, it's a Snorlax, dude. Is this I think this might be a Mew deck, maybe. I saw there was the Snorlax meta deck, but I've never played against it before. Town store, what is this? And search for a Pokemon tool card? Oh hell yeah. Dude, we can get our XP shares. Alright, so this deck runs leftovers, huh? Interesting. Oh, they're running XP share as well. The Switch. Okay. Not gonna use town store just yet. There's actually not really that much we want to do. I guess we want to go fetch our evolutions. There are no PokemonGO Charizards in here. That's really bad. Okay. The grass field is kind of relaxing. I don't really get to see it very often. It's kind of got some wind blowing. I guess the Snorlaxes let you put leftovers into your hand so you can use them as discard fodder. Is that what this deck does? Something like that. I guess I should have actually maybe gotten an XP share last turn to attach. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. I got a tutor for something here. I guess we can just get another XP share. I'll get a Charizard actually, that's fine. I'm gonna save the Arceus tutor for now. Because we don't actually need it. Put an EXP share on one of the Charmanders. We don't have the PokemonGO Charizard, which is really, really bad. It's in our prize pool. So I guess we're just attacking. We need that Go Charizard. It's so unlucky that they're both in the prize pool. We can't, if we can't do Pokemon Go, we're just gonna brute force it with raw energy, I guess. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm actually an idiot. I didn't get a candy. Well, luckily, I should have gotten a candy off of that tutor, but luckily we've got the Pidgey. Make up for my stupid mistake. Yeah, that's fine. I think we're just gonna knock out the... Alright, I don't want to be too conceited, but well, especially against a one prize deck. I don't know if there's some like other tricks that this guy's got up his sleeves, but I think yeah, okay. That was an interesting concept though for a deck that they were running. I don't think that's meta at all. I think that's that seems to be a very custom deck, unless I'm mistaken. That's a really neat concept. So the idea is you run all of those different cards that let you fetch leftovers out of your deck, and then you discard them to that like cactus thing to do 50 damage each. To be honest though, I feel like it's that as a concept, it seems like it's a little bit too slow, and it's not enough payoff. Do you know what I mean? I'm all about custom decks, though. I think that's a super cool idea. Let's see. Back. I don't even know what that thing's name was. Unfortunately, I forget. We go back and look in the VOD. But the fact is that you have to like. There's so many pieces to that engine. Like you have to like get the Snorlax and the Stadium and all this stuff to like fetch all those tools out of your deck, and then you also have to attach 2 energy the um, to the Pokemon itself so it can attack. And you have to discard them every single turn and then find a way to return the cards to your hand. And the only payoff to that is 50 damage per tool. So you'd have to have like 6 tools or something in your hand just to do 300 damage. And that doesn't even knock out a Charizard. You would need 7 tools in your hand to one-shot a Charizard. I just don't know if the payoff is quite there, but very neat concept for a deck. Let's get shiny things, I guess. Ooh, we got a lot of booster packs. Nice. These should give us a lot of credits, I think. Because it's just, this whole battle pass gives a bunch of Obsidian Flames packs, so I think I have a lot of them already, so we should hopefully get some credits. Maybe build some meta decks. Ooh, nice, another Poppy with the full art. And I really kind of wish I would be able to get the real versions of these cards, because some of them look really, really nice. But it's kind of nice to be able to just browse them in the digital one too. So we got some credits there, that's cool. 300 credits we can put towards another deck. Alright, let's play it. We're actually on a 3-game win streak here in the little Ninja League. So I guess we'll queue up another one here. Having some decent games so far. This is really bad that we have to discard the 2 Pidgeots. This hand kind of sucks. I'm gonna just attach the XP share while we can. But yeah, we're kind of in a not great spot. Kind of a bad opener. At least we had the Iono to help correct things a little bit. This is not that good. Nest ball, maybe? No. Unlucky. Oh, it's a lost box. Manaphy gets run in so many decks, I actually had no idea what deck they were playing. So. Actually, there's kind of a very important decision to make this turn. I'm gonna Arven for Ultra Ball. And then we have to either pick Pidgeot or Charizard. And I think Pidgeot is actually the better choice. Because it's gonna let us more consistently draw through our deck versus the Charizard, which is gonna leave us in a top deck situation, which sucks. So I think we're gonna go for the Pidgeot. I think their opening hand was quite slow, it seems like. Seems like they're kind of struggling to get things onto the board, which is good for us. Our hand wasn't the best either, but it was at least kind of serviceable with the Iono. Wait, lightning energy? Is that standard? The only thing though with if I go for the Pidgeot play, I won't be able to attack. That's why I'm actually kind of considering the Charizard. Because the Pidgeot needs 2 energy. Oh, what? No way. That's kind of insane. The top deck Pidgeot. Okay, dude, that's a little bit dirty. That's dirty. Alright. That's my good luck for the day. Go get our Ultra Ball. Alright. I think it would be pretty hard for them to come back from their opening. It looks like they really struggled, like they got a really bad hand. Which is unlucky. Lost Box on, like, this is like turn 3, they should already be way online at this point. So they must have like really drawn an absolute dud of a hand. Like they should have like multiple comfies in play. Giratina. Giratina or Girati? I don't even know. That big boy. Yeah, we're in a great spot now. We can just like tutor for a research and reset our hand and pretty much just go from there. I don't think there's any threat they can field that we would really care about too much at this point. We can just start building our board. Okay, they want to swap things around, that's totally fine. We've even got the Pidgeot online if they have a, what is it, Path of the Peak. The damage on Pidgeot kind of sucks, to be honest. Go ahead and get research to reset this. I haven't even played God yet this game, so I guess we should do that. That'd probably be good. I'm gonna keep Artisan in hand. I'll probably retreat. You can actually just bring Wyrdeer in, I think. That's probably fine. I'll just attach like one energy. I guess we could do two actually, just in case. This should be fine. How many? Well, they've only got 4 in the last one. Okay. I was worried that the Sableye might be able to like do some kind of a knockout on the Pidgeot, but I don't think they're in range to be able to do that. We've got our XP shares online to catch any energy if this somehow gets knocked out. I don't know if there's a way that the Lost Box can do that. There's no evolution that they can play. Because they don't have any basics on the bench, so... Yeah. I think this is pretty much over. That made sense. I would have been pretty interested to see what hand they drew into there, because that was probably the slowest Lost Box opening I've ever seen. I've never seen Lost Box brick like that before. That deck usually has so many options available to them to fix their hand with the comfies that, yeah, I don't know, I've just literally never seen a deck brick like that before. Alucard New York. I think we're gonna lose. That name is too cool for me to handle, so I think this is where our win streak ends. It's probably gonna be the last game for me for now as well. I might come back a bit later, but I think I need to take a quick break after this one. Grab some food, maybe like walk around or something. Everyone's got their like Halloween decorations and stuff out, so good to go take a look at those while they're up. Yeah. Start of the session was kind of bad. Had some bad openers. This looks like kind of a... This is an unfortunate opener where you only get the Wyrdeer. It's kind of not ideal at all. We have an Ultra Ball, so we could fetch Arceus turn 1, but it's gonna be rough. We can Artisan to get Pidgeys and Charmanders. Ideally, we get Pidgey first. But, yeah, pretty tough spot to start with. I got a Mareep. Well, this deck can like turn online really fast though, the lightning one. They just need like a... I don't even know if I want to give them the artisan. If I don't want to. I kind of need it for my own Pidgey, so... I'm taking a while to play here. I'm not sure what I want to discard, actually. I think I'm just getting rid of these two for Arceus. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to attach the energy. I think I just want to put it... Maybe something like this. Probably fine. Very hard to say. I think we'll do that. I don't want to give them the artisan. Just in case they break their hand or something. It's pretty rare for the lightning deck to just open with just a Mareep. So if they're kind of stuck, I didn't want to like give them any options. What is this? Wow, Path of the Peak. I guess it's a good thing we kept Artisan. But we're in a top deck situation now too, so there's a good chance we lose this game. We didn't really draw anything to help fix our hand early on. I've never seen this card before. Dude, we're in an awful situation. I think I just passed the turn, honestly. I'm gonna save Artisan for when I can actually do something. Or actually, with this okay. That Iono is kind of good for us, actually. Oh yeah, their deck's online now. When we Iono'd, we totally let their deck go online. That's a thing. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose now. Their full deck just came online. I don't know if there's really much we can do about that. Guess we'll see. It's gonna be, what, 160 damage, at least? Although, I just realized we can get God next turn. So, actually, there is a chance here. Uh, we're gonna lose 3 energy, but I'm hoping that maybe we can find some sort of a way with Iono to restabilize her. We're also losing the XP share on the Wyrdeer, which kind of sucks. Damn, I'm 10 damage short with the Charizard to knock out. That really blows. We'll lead with Jet to see what we can do. Ooh, a Wyrdeer. Okay. Damn, we can't get the Go Charizard online, so we can't get a knockout this turn. That's too bad. Or wait, can we? No. We can only do 200 damage. Yeah. Guess we'll put up a wall. Really sucks that we can't get a knockout this turn, but I don't think we need. Guess we should get another Charmander if we can. Yeah. And I guess we'll swing because we don't have anything else to do. Unfortunate to let them get a free attack in. This is going to be 220 damage at least, assuming this one attacks. Or 230 because the thing, right? That's okay. Guess we get a Gozard. I need candy. 100%. Let's get the candy first, I guess. Assuming, I hope there's still candy in the deck. I think we've used a lot. Oh, there is. Okay, last candy. I could get an EXP share too, though. Although, actually, no, I can't. I was gonna think about Arvin, but we need to actually get the PokemonGO Charizard, so... Let's do energy for turn. I guess Shock is actually probably our best bet here. We're gonna cheat out the Charmeleon to set up for next turn. This Charizard is basically just prize fodder at this point, so we're gonna retreat this back. I don't think we actually need to attach. We're doing 160. Which I think is fine. I guess you can... this Charizard is just gonna die anyways, so we'll just do that, that's fine. Yeah. Fine. Oh, it can knock out... oh, it's gonna get a double knockout, I think. Maybe. Or it can only do 120, plus like 130 maybe? I'm not sure what is actually giving it extra attack. Something is, I think. Oh, I don't have EXP shares either. We're in a really bad spot. I forgot we didn't have those. I'm not sure if he's got what he needs to win next turn, actually, now that I think about it. We're basically just going to put this Charizard out and hope for the best, because that's the best option we have. I mean, we can put an XP share on something. Doesn't really matter. Grab an Ultra Ball, I don't think it matters. Yeah. Okay. So if he's got boss's orders, then he just wins, I think. But he doesn't have a lot of energy. So he might actually be able to win this one, I'm not sure. Oh, there's a rare candy. So this attaches 1 energy from the discard, and then 1 for turn, and then it does 90 to my bench. If he's got boss's orders, I just lose. I'm not sure if the lightning symbol does... does that apply to multi-shot lightning? Will it do 100 damage? I'm not sure. If it does, then I lose. If it doesn't... your basic Pokemon's attacks do 10 more damage. Oh, to your opponent's active Pokemon. It says active Pokemon, so I don't think it applies. This is up to 60 times 4, so 240. Okay, so he's gonna tutor for something. Oh, can he tutor for boss's orders? Does he have it? I'll give him a thumbs up if they have it. It's a good game. Very close. Wait, nest ball. What is this setup? Is he going for... You either have boss's orders or you don't. What is this guy doing? Oh, wait, okay. Well, he's at... What? You still gotta pay retreat costs, though, unless you can switch. But assuming you had 5 energy, that would be 270. Which is pretty good, but not enough. I'm assuming you don't have boss's orders unless you're trolling the hell out of me. Okay. Alright. He just concedes. Alright. That was a really good game. That was really close. We both got bricked hands at the start. And then we did the Ayano play to fix our own hand, but we also fixed their hand. Their entire deck came online. Ours was a little slow to get off the ground. We didn't get to play the combos the way we wanted to. Like our Wyrders were, they died very early on. We didn't get our tutors, our EXP shares out. So we lost a lot of energy on Wyrdeer when it got knocked out. Didn't go our way at all, but we were able to kind of claw our way back into the game thanks to the damage ramp on the CharizardEx as the backup. And I'm very, very surprised actually that they didn't have a boss's orders there. Because they like drew through a lot of their deck and they even had the forest seal to tutor for a card and they still couldn't get it. So I'm not sure if maybe I think they may have played it early on, I'm not sure, but that was a kind of insane game. And like I said, I think that's gonna be the last one for right now. But I might be back later to play a little bit more. I'm not sure. Oh wait, is that? Oh, we need one more and we can go up to the Houndoom. Dude, I'll be honest with you, I've never seen someone with the Houndoom icon before. I don't know. I kind of want to play one more to see if we can get it while I'm kind of like fired up and warmed up. That'd be cool, but we might lose. It's okay if we do. Let's just do one more. Just one more. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, then we're sad, but that's okay. Let's see if we can make it work. It's T-Bear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the Houndoom icon. Let's go, dude. Let's see if we can make it work. I've never seen someone with that icon before. Should be interesting. I wonder if you get the Houndoom icon if it bumps you up to your own like another league or something where you only queue against like absolutely insane people. Because I swear to you, I've never seen it one time. It's always the Greninja that I see. Alright, what do we got? Okay, we got Call for Family to start. Not bad. We've even got God's Evolution. It looks like they didn't draw anything too crazy. Do we have a chance here? This looks like the... What is it? The Chin Pao deck? I don't know if that's even that Pokemon's name, to be honest. But it's the one where they water ramp to like attach a lot of energy. Yeah, that's the one. Is that his name? Chin Pao? Yeah, it is. Chin Pao. Yeah, this is a tough deck to go against. This is a very strong meta deck. We might be in trouble here. But we have a pretty decent opening hand ourselves. So there is a chance we might be able to make this work. So we have an Iono. Our hand seems good enough to keep. Let me just think what we're gonna do here. I think I'm just gonna call for family straight up. Yeah, let's just call for family. And I think that's all we're doing. Hopefully we don't get disrupted. Let's get a Charmander on the bench as well. Hopefully that's not too greedy. I'm being a little bit greedy here because I think we can get the Pidgeot next turn as well if we get God in play. But if we get Ionoed, then our entire plan goes out the window. So it's a little bit of a greedy play here that I went for. Let's see if it pays off. If Pidgey gets knocked out, we're in bad shape too. Okay, I don't think they can attack this turn. Oh my god, okay, we're online. Let's go. So let's do the plays here. Go through the play lines. I really want to attack. I want the Go Zard, but I also want to attack, which means I want to go for Infernal Zard, actually. Being able to ramp this turn is really important, though. I'm going to go for Infernal Zard first. I want the... Oh, no, I want Weirder. Get XP share online. Dude, we're in fantastic shape here. I think we're just gonna get our Gozard online this turn. Do I need to though, or do I want to hand reset? What's more valuable? I have the rare candy in hand, so I'm gonna just make use of that and get the Gozard. I really wanted to kind of look for a research, but that's okay. I might make use of boss's orders now as well, since I'm probably gonna reset my hand next turn. So I might, we can keep this damage on here as an option for later. And just take out one of the more, take out the, actually we can't, or we can retreat, so that's fine. We do expose ourselves to being, actually I'm gonna just use Arceus now. I think. How much energy do we have? 1. Okay. I should probably Pokestop as well. Okay, just milled. 2 energy. Is it worth recycling? Forget how much we had in the deck. Hold on to it in case we get knocked out next turn. So our Wyrdeer is holding on to a lot of energy. Oh, we only... Maybe I should have recycled, I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't actually end up mattering. So they look like they don't have any energy, but their deck can, like... They have a lot of ways to fetch energy, basically, so... They could very easily just bring this guy out and get a knockout this turn. We do have the Wyrdeer ready to respond to that, though. And so then we're looking to set up our next play after that. We do have the 1-turn knockout easily with Wyrdeer. I think I might actually fetch another Wyrdeer out of the deck with the Quick Search so that I can distribute this stockpile of energy a little bit more evenly. Okay, they Iono, that's fine. That's okay, whatever. That actually kind of improved our hand, to be honest. We're already completely online, so we're not really at the mercy of RNG at this point, for the most part. Assuming that we've actually got another Wyrdeer in the deck, I think we should have this, because we can just go for 1-turn knockouts over the next 2 turns. Yeah, look at all that energy. Okay, so one thing we do need to be careful of is that Greninja knockout potential. He's got can do like 90 damage or whatever. We'll lead with Pidgeot just so we have maximum options for picking what we want to retreat into. Okay, we got the Iono. I'd rather research, I think. Let's do research first. Do I want to bench the Charmander? I think we do. They can take 1 prize off of it, potentially, if it gets knocked out somehow. But I don't think that should matter. We'll go ahead and research first to see what we draw into. We're looking for a second Wyrdeer, which we can actually just do this. I think we're done with Iono. We're into Professor's research territory at this point, although we can just get rid of the Pidgeot. Oh, wait, I drew a Klara. Well, I did draw the Klara. That's fine, we'll just put the Wyrdeer like this. We still have our search, right? So we'll attack in with this Wyrdeer this turn. Yeah, that should be fine. We can... I guess just like tutor for candy. I don't even know if I have a candy. I do, okay. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, we'll just do candy. I'm going to keep the Klara in hand, actually. So that's 80, 160, 240. Okay, yeah. I think that's fine. Let's just go with this. Honestly, I forget if I even played the Charmander this turn, but I think we're fine either way. I don't think there's any way you can like pump the attack damage of this. Okay, so there's our attack target. Let's see, one boss's orders and discard. I think we should have another one available for the win. Ooh, cross switcher, okay. Oh, he's going for the Gozard. Interesting. Dude, I've never seen anyone actually do this play before. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Because I've just got too much energy on the field, but that's actually very smart. Because this is actually what's powering all the Wyrdeers to do so much damage. But I've never actually seen anyone try to shut it down before. This is literally the first time I've seen someone targeted. But the nice thing about this Charizard is it's only a one prize Pokemon, so they're not going to get a lot of value out of taking it out. Plus we've got the backup Charmander, so we can just Klara and then replay it, assuming we don't have one in the deck that we can just fetch with Pidgeot, so it's really not a big deal. But kudos to them for actually picking up on that, because I wonder if a lot of people don't understand that the Burn Brightly is giving the mooses a lot of juices. Alright. Oh, wait a second, so... Oh. I see. I don't have a switch in this deck. That's really bad. Do I have energy in my deck? Let's see what we've got to work with here. We got a boss's orders. There is an energy we can fetch as well, but only one. Oh my god. I didn't realize the retreat cost on that guy was so high. Maybe I need to run a switch in this deck, but... Alright. Well, we'll do this. Do that. Do an Ultra Ball. Oh. What am I... Oh my god, no, I could have gotten out of it. Shit. I misplayed. That kind of sucks. I can Pokestop. Oh, I drew it! I drew it out of the Pokestop. Let's go. We can charge him up and run away now. A little bit of creativity got us out of a pickle. Wait, what? No, yeah, it just says that, but you need to do too. Here, we'll go for the big finale. The ultimate moose. Ultimate moose attack! Let's go! Wait, can we do anything else to pump it up? I don't think so. Alright, let's go for 800 damage moose. Nice. That was really close. I almost messed that up, but luckily the Pokestop let us get the energy retrieval to put it into our deck, so that was good. Alright, dude, we did it. We got the elusive, the Houndoom icon. Let's see it. I've never seen this icon on anyone before. This is virtually going to be the first time I've ever seen it. Okay, yeah, we got some shiny stuff too. Let's see. Oh, yeah, dude, look at that. The Houndoom. Now, the thing is, I don't think this is a rank floor. So I'm pretty sure we can lose this icon, which I'm gonna like be very sad about, but we did it. We're in there. I've never seen anyone with this one before, so we're beginning our journey. Dude, I want to climb as much as I can, but I'm pretty sure this season, yeah, the season ends in 2 weeks, so we don't have a lot of time to climb it. I think I came in pretty late to the season, because I only started playing this game a week ago, so probably pretty late. But we'll climb as far as we can. Maybe this is the peak, but even if this is the peak, at least we can say we got the Houndoom icon. Yeah, we got a pack here too. We got any sick pulls? Ooh, Scizor looks cool as hell. I think it's a useless card, but it looks very shiny. Oh yeah, we already had 4 of them. That's completely useless to us, but we do get credits out of it, which are nice. Alright, that was sick. I'm very happy to end on that note. So yeah, also, if anyone was watching the VOD, hopefully that kind of shows, like, in a much better way, like, what the deck is supposed to accomplish. Because I feel like, yesterday, it, like, didn't... We just drew so many horrible hands yesterday, it was absolutely insane, but today, we were able to actually get some reasonable hands to work with, and, they weren't all perfect. We had to dig our way out of a few situations, but that's kind of the concept. As you can see, the energy recycler is totally clutch. There's no way I would ever not run at least one energy recycler in the deck. Honestly, I think I'm quite happy with to just have 2 EXP shares in the deck. It's not the only way to keep energy on the board. If you ramp hard enough, you can just have a surplus. So I think 2 is enough. Yeah, I don't know. All the balancing for the deck feels really, really good. Of course, every single deck is always going to have some bricked hands that you run into, but on the whole, like, this one has seemed to be operating very, very well. I'm very happy with the performance where it's at right now. And if I stopped and, like, this was the final list, I think that would be fine. The only card I might consider a little bit of weighting adjustment on is, like, you could swap one of these Arbins out for something else if you wanted to. I think there's a lot of reasonable options you could switch in. Like, for example, in that one situation, if we had a really good setup in a very, very late game scenario, so we were able to get away with not having a switch because we could just use the Infernal Rain Charizard, but running a switch in the deck is never a bad idea. Um, that might even be something I consider doing like right now. I don't know. Got like where is it? The golden switch. There it is. The shiny gold switch. Like I might swap one Arven out for one switch. Because switch is again, it's one of those cards that has utility all game long. Like early on, you can use it to you can like for example put energy on your Arceus on turn one and then use switch to retreat your active Pokemon back, and then you can be set up to attack with just 2 energy attached if you get your Go Charizard online. But that's only possible if you have a switch in the deck. So I don't know. Maybe that is something worth considering. There's also those weird situations where someone will use a boss's orders just to kind of mess you up and throw a Pokemon that you have no energy attached to out into the active spot just to delay you a little bit. And sometimes a switch is the only answer to that scenario. So actually, as a matter of fact, I think I've just talked myself into doing that. Um, and I think that like it's a very small tweak, but I think it could have a pretty big impact. And I think the only reason I would consider doing it here, I'm gonna actually make it 1.11. We'll make it as like this is probably like one of the very final tweaks I'm gonna do to this deck. I think. Actually, do I really need a switch though? That's what I'm just thinking. Hmm. I think there's enough utility in it to make it worthwhile. The other yeah, I think I do need to put one in, and I'll tell you why. Because even with a Pokemon Go Charizard in play, um, it basically reduces all of your retreat costs by one, so that instead of retreating for one or for two, you retreat for one. And then when you do that, the objective of the deck is to keep as much energy as possible in play, so that you can get it onto Wyrdeer when he Frontier Roads. And the thing is, though, the Switch actually lets you save one energy, even with a Pokemon Go Charizard in play. So, in theory, actually, the Switch is actually a type of energy conservation card as well. And energy translates into damage, and big damage and moving fast is what the deck is all about. So, I think Switch gets a place in the deck. I think it's important, and I think you just cut one of the Arvins out because ultimately, in the mid to late game, even though Arvin is a fantastic card, um, he is ultimately a supporter, and you don't necessarily need to run two of him. He's not that important, but he is just like a fantastic, good all around card. So I think just one copy of him in the deck should be enough. And so I think this would probably be the final version. Except I don't think I duplicate. No, I didn't. I'll just do that now as the last thing here. Get this edited here. But yeah, I'm super happy that this deck turned out the way it did. I've been working on this deck for like a week now, just kind of like tweaking it from the ground up. And yes, it uses a lot of meta cards. I'm pretty sure like the Charmander Arceus Pidgeot trio is very meta, but I don't think anyone is using it in conjunction with the Weirders. So that's kind of the unique selling point of it. And I don't think a lot of people are using the Pokemon Go Charizard as well. So I see these two as kind of being like the unique value proposition for the deck. And also kind of the XP shares I think are maybe a little bit unique to the deck as well. But overall, I think it's got some good staying power for sure. All right, so let's just we'll edit this here. It's like that, and we'll make that one adjustment. It's rare for me actually to adjust the deck after a win, but that one situation that guy pulled off, and that was a good play by him too. That was like really smart of him to pull out that Pokemon Go Charizard that I don't think it would have won the game, but it was a really good stall tactic. Let's see, what are we looking for? Where is the switch? I'm looking for a big gold card, but it doesn't show up with that artwork here. I'll just look for it, whatever. There we go. The golden switch. There it is. So I think that should help the deck in some uh, interesting situations like the ones that we found ourselves in. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the stream. I might be back later to like run some more of this and probably like lose our Houndoom icon because I don't think I don't think I'm gonna hang on to this. What our stats look like. This was basically at holy crap, dude, we went on a 6-win streak. That's kind of insane. Uh I didn't realize we just won 6 games in a row. That's actually pretty rare, but yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. It's sick. I'm really happy that a custom deck list that I made is able to like actively compete against meta decks. I think that's so cool and so fun. I uh I want to try building some of the meta decks that I've seen though, and like try piloting them. Like there's a WyrdeerVs deck I'm really interested in. There's a what else is there? There's like a Mew fusion deck, which looks really fun. Uh, there's what else is there? There's the deck we just played against is also a really fun one. There's a lot of meta decks. It's just I only have so many crystals to work with, so I'm kind of being conservative. And like, if I build a deck, then I really want to make sure I'm gonna enjoy playing it for a long time. Because once you build it and spend the crystals, it's very hard to get the crystals back without a lot of grinding. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm just rambling at this point. But thanks for anyone that was watching, and I might be back a little bit later. If not later today, then probably on some other days we'll do some more grinding and see what we can do with the deck. But yeah, I'm out for now. See you guys. Best of luck as always.